There are ways to deal with the problem of politicians appointing judges. It is a danger. A politician is ideological and is political, and that's what you're trying to avoid in the judge. He ought or she ought not to be ideological and political. Well, what do you do about that? You create a screen. You create a screening committee that by law is nonpartisan and that selects a certain number of judicial candidates, 10, 12, 5, 4, and presents them then to the appointing authority. Now, this at least assures you some, level of capacity. And then you hope that the appointing authority makes an objective judgment. You've avoided an election, thank God, because in an election, money would make the difference. The judge with the money would do the ad and would win if there were enough. That is out of the picture. Money is not relevant. That by itself helps get you closer to objectivity. I appointed 112 judges. I appointed the entire high court, 7 judges. It came out, my first court, 3 Republicans, 3 Democrats, and 1 independent. And when I discovered, and I didn't know any of this when I made the appointments, one of them I suspected, the 4th, was a Republican, because when I knew him as a practicing lawyer, he was a Republican. What I didn't know is he had gone on the bench, and because he was smarter than I, changed his registration to independent, because he didn't know who the governor was going to be. And wound up on the Court of Appeals, so it would have been 4 Republicans. My first chief judge was Sol Wackler, the chief judge of the Court of Appeals. And he came out of a field that had 5 Democrats in it. And I made him the chief judge. Now, how did it work out? I think if you went back and looked at the decisions of that court after about 5, 6, 7 years, it would have been very hard for you to tell which were the so-called conservatives and which were not. Because they did it the way Judge Black did it when he got to the Supreme Court. They did it on the merits. And on the merits, you shouldn't be able to tell whether the guy or gal is liberal, conservative, or what.